Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Prior to our regular meeting this evening, we do have a public hearing. We have a moratorium on solar energy right now. Thought that was about to run out, so we wanted to extend. Matt has done some homework on that. Matt, you can explain a little bit about where it stands.
Yes. Originally this was brought to the board, I think, back in April, and I think when some of the original calculations were made as to when the 6 months would expire, that was sort of used as the key date. And April is when we scheduled a public hearing for May. In May we held a public hearing, and thereafter, let me double check my notes, it was approved May 16th. 6 months from that would put us at November 16th. However, we immediately, or Kathy sent the notice for filing of the local law to the Secretary of State. Secretary of State somehow dropped the ball, and they did not officially file it or get us back our receipt till it was filed in August. The way the law, or the moratorium was drafted, it said its last 6 months effective date of the date of filing with the Secretary of State. As such, we theoretically or technically have 6 months from that filing date, so we are not on the verge of it expiring. We have the hearing scheduled. We can certainly go forward with the public hearing as far as the extension, but it is not necessary in order to miss the deadline for the board to take action tonight. We can postpone that, or we may, before the expiration, come up with the solar law for review from the board, for the board.
That being said, it looks like we don't have to take any action. The focus group has a final version in their hands of a solar law. It has not come to the board. I think it just came to the board's attention today. The focus group will take action on that very likely tomorrow night. It then goes into the task force for a bid on their part, and then it comes to us. So we'll have 2 meetings in November and at least 1 in December to take action and get that done before the first of the year. But if anybody is here to speak on the issue of solar energy or solar collection or solar laws for the town of Wheatfield, that's what we're here for, and you're welcome to speak up, and that starts with the members, if anybody has anything they'd like to say. The reason we're doing this is we found last year that we had nothing on a solar law. We had, I think, 2 sentences somewhere in our code reflecting solar, and with the amount of solar that's going to be going on, and with all of the different parties in the area that are seeking to put solar everywhere, we thought it was appropriate to have our own law. Is there anybody who wishes to speak on the issue of solar law?
I'll just say one thing I would note. I know we've begun this process in the moratorium. We had that decision coming up on 5 months ago, but I've noticed in reviewing other municipalities throughout the state and country, for that matter, that solar moratorium in hope of passing the solar law is catching hold in numerous jurisdictions. We're seeing lots of moratoriums being entered into, as other municipalities are doing the same thing and updating laws with regard to solar and solar structures.
And I think everybody's in favor of solar in the right place at the right time. There is no restriction within our law on putting the solar on your roof, on your garage, on your shed. It's the standalone structures and the business type structures, the utility grade structures that can overwhelm an area, hundreds of acres. And those are things that we needed to take a look at. The question of, can we do solar in residential zones? Can we do solar in RR zones? Had to be addressed. And those are all the things that have been addressed in the potential law. If there is nobody who wishes to speak on this subject, I'll close the meeting. Is there anybody who has anything to say? If not, then I'm going to go ahead and close.